5 Stars on Game Day One is brought to you by Veolia. Be sure to click on to veolia.us to learn more about their conservation program today to learn how to save money and save water. The weeks of the 2024-25 basketball season continue to fly by. We are really now at the halfway point of the season. Some teams are still kind of stuck at 5 or 6 games. I don't know how they're going to play the rest of their games in time before the end of the playoffs. But we have the march to the finish here. League play starts this week. A lot of big matchups. But first, let's hit our 5 stars of the week, brought to you by Veolia here on Game Day One. Very much appreciative of our friends of Veolia for sponsoring this segment every single week. We start with our first member of the 5 stars, and that comes out of Yonkers, and my man Frank Mercedes, a scoring machine. He was absent at the beginning of the season because of injury. He has come back, and he's come back in a very big way, and he has Roosevelt positioned to make a run at a top 5 seed in the Class AA playoffs because of what they did this week specifically. They go out, they win their 2 matchups. Now, Yonkers schools, there's always that one Yonkers schools in the AA or in the A level that gets a high seed, and they typically don't have wins like Roosevelt had. They beat Lakeland last week, 27 points, 5 assists, 7 steals for Frank Mercedes in that game. And then against Somers in a victory, he put up 30 points and 5 steals. Roosevelt is now 5-6, including 3 out of 4 wins. One of those wins coming against Peekskill in the Nyack tournament consolation game, and really just in the first round game to get to the final. Just a really impressive performance by this team, and just impressed with what I've seen out of Frank Mercedes. As I said, just a God-given scorer for this Roosevelt squad. Next up in our 5 stars, let's go to Scarsdale and Jake Sussberg. You know, we bypassed him last week after what he did at the county center the week before, but we can't ignore him anymore. 4 games this week, 4 wins, 4 brilliant efforts, and Sussberg is marching his way. He goes over 30 points per game scoring on the season, thanks to 38 against Clarkstown North on Monday, 35 against Spring Valley a day later, 2 days later, 33 against Clarkstown South, and then on Saturday, 25 points, 10 rebounds, was pretty much a double-digit rebounds in all those contests as well. And just a terrific all-around player. We're seeing the depth of his game this season, and we're seeing Scarsdale keep on winning. They're now at 10-1 going into Wednesday's matchup against 11-0 Mamaroneck. Be there on Scarsdale at 4:30 on Scarsdale's home court for that matchup. Our next member of the 5 stars, team that they beat was Scarsdale this past week. Look at Spring Valley and Josiah Bashon. I think people don't realize how good Bishun is. He's been a little under the radar last few seasons playing for Spring Valley. They've had some tough years. They are back in a very big way, and Bishun is a major reason why. More performances this past week. He scored 13 points in the loss to Scarsdale. It was a tough game, but they were in that game. They were kind of like neck and neck with Scarsdale to the 4th quarter. He comes back, puts up 21 points in Spring Valley's win over White Plains, and then against Ketchum on Saturday in a blowout 40-point victory. He goes for 29 points, 8 assists. Josiah Bashon has been awesome for this Spring Valley team, and they are very much in the hunt in Class AAA, looking to get a home game in the playoffs. Back down to Class AA, team that's trying to work their way back up after, they were on the mountaintop last year with Peekskill. They got knocked down after a very difficult schedule to start the season, but they have now won 3 games in a row, and they are back in the pack, leading to get a top 8 seed thanks to Jaden Chavis. He was terrific. I mean, it's a big week for Jaden Chavis, kind of a milestone week for him because of the fact he scored 25 points against Harrison in that first win, comes back 22 points against John Jay Cross River, and then has maybe his best performance of the season. 35 points in a win over Somers, including his 1,000th career point for the first-team All-County member last year. Peekskill is 6-4 now with a 3-game winning streak, and when you look at their league schedule, they played a challenging schedule early in the year to get prepared. Their league, they should run through the league. I don't think they lose another game in league play. They think they have Poughkeepsie left. Might be their only real challenge before maybe winning out in their final 10 games. Peekskill in good position thanks to Jaden Chavis. And our final member of the 5 stars, there's only 3 undefeated teams in boys basketball. It's 1 in girls, 3 in boys. Rhinebeck is a team that basically no one talks about, no one thinks about, but they are 8-0, and Davey Ryan is a big reason why he's our next member of the 5 stars. Davey Ryan, only a junior, 22 points in a win over Putt Valley last week, 13 in a limited time against Hastings. They continue to win. Davey Ryan, listen, he's a baseball prospect, college prospect, 6'1", but gets in the paint, averages over 10 rebounds per game, and he has Rhinebeck positioned in Class A to be
rare feat to be undefeated and still flying under the radar in Class A. Those are our 5 stars from the week. Hit me up on X or on Instagram and tell me who I missed. Tell me about your 5 stars from last week. We have a big week ahead. As I said, league play gets going. You got Mount Vernon, New Rochelle on Wednesday, Mamaroneck, Scarsdale on Wednesday. Those 4 teams are all going to play each other over the next 3 weeks. It's going to be a lot of fun. We'll see you soon.